Hello everyone, my name is Veron Johansen from Social 2 and today we are going to be talking about the invention of the telephone. So, this video will give you information about the inventors and also the series of events that occurred and related to the invention of the telephone. I hope this video will give you more knowledge about this topic and will give you an idea of how it was found and developed until it became the telephone we all know today. So without further ado, let's get into the presentation. Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation part of this video. So, the invention of the telephone, as you all know, is a very revolutionary moment in the human history. So now we are going to take a look at how this invention started in the first place. So yeah, let's get to it. So before we get into the series of events and how did the invention started, we need to take a look at the people who were involved in the invention. They are Antonio Meucci and Alexander Graham Bell. Antonio Meucci is one of the first person to ever came up with the idea of the telephone. And Alexander Graham Bell was the first ever person to ever patent the telephone idea. Alexander Graham Bell also had an assistant named Thomas Watson, who helped him to create and achieve the telephone that he made. The three of them combined, you can say, are the patrons for the invention of the telephone. So, after getting to know the people who are involved in the invention of the telephone, we are going to talk about the series of events that is crucial to the invention of the telephone. The first event that is crucial to the invention of the telephone is in 1856, where Meucci communicated with his bedridden wife with a paired electromagnetic transmitter and receiver, which made him think that it was too complicated to use because you need a transmitter and also a receiver at both ends of the person. And he wanted to create a product that will send and also receive a message to. It means that he wants to combine both the transmitter and receiver into a product. So in 1857, Meucci wrote the principle of the telephone based on the transmitter and receiver. And his dream came true in 1860, where he successfully developed his own telephone and he demonstrated it publicly in 1860. And around 11 years later, in December of 1871, he filed a patent caveat to have ownership on his idea, that is the telephone. But sadly, the next event in 1874, Meucci's model and technical details were lost in the Western Union Telegraph Company. So when he filed the patent, around 3 years later, the patent wasn't approved yet, but it was lost. Both the model and the technical details were lost, so Meucci didn't get his patent. But on June the 2nd of 1875, around 1 year later, Alexander Graham Bell successfully transmitted sound over a wire, which in September of 1875, he continued to improve the instrument to be able to be used later in the future. And in March of 1876, he successfully made transmissions, which allows him to communicate through the instrument. This is a very big found and invention. So on March the 10th of 1876, he successfully carried his first ever meaningful sentence over the wires. So on March the 10th of 1876, he successfully created the instrument that we now call the telephone. But if you look at the telephone that Bell used in the picture, it's very different to the telephone that we use today. Why is that? Because after the day Bell successfully delivered the message in 1876, over the years the telephone kept improving from the telephone that Bell used what looks like a microphone into the telephone that we use today. And even the telephone that we use right now was even improved into a smartphone that is much more portable and easy to use. So we can see that the telephone industry will still improve in the future, and it has totally improved very far from the first ever telephone that Bell created. So yeah, that is the end of the history on the invention of the telephone. I hope you enjoyed the history about the invention of the telephone, and I hope this video also gave you more knowledge about history about the telephone that we use today. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!